The ladies are fighting. Guys, let's learn about VTubing today. Today we're going to learn about the mean girl problem in VTubing. Yay! I am fascinated with the various VTubing creatures as I myself am a butterfly and not a VTuber. I am off to the side and watching your drama unfold and I am not saying a thing. Let's check it out.
There is a saying, there is no one who hates women more than other women. And at first glance, you might think that's very sexist, and maybe it is.
Is that true? Ladies, is that true? I was gonna bring up the red pill, but I guess they're competitors, right? Yeah, you got Myron from Fresh and Fit. He's pretty he's climbing the ranks. Yeah, that guy hates women.
It's a very generalized quote, within the same realm as never ask a white supremacist the color of their girlfriend. I think both are funny, but I think both also has a bit of truth in them, especially in the fierce, mentally ill, female-dominated industry that is VTubing.
Yeah.
See, in VTubing, there are two types of Google Docs. X-person is a sex pest, usually a man, or X-person is a bully, usually a woman. Thus, why mean girls are hot topic trend these days. And while we usually want to take the sex pest allegations a lot more seriously, the mean girl allegations are a lot more fun to talk about. Because not only can we shit on the mean girl, we can also have the right to be misogynist. The idea that Google Docky is exposing other creators being bullies
Okay, alright buddy.
are so common in this space is very interesting to me. In fact, it's a lot more common than the Twitch streamer culture. When it comes to the Twitch streamer sphere, I've
Oh
noticed
my
that
god, the Kingsman. Was she a VTuber? No, she wasn't. She was. That was a flashbang. I forgot about the Kingsman situation. I thought for a second that she was a V. Was she? Was she? Someone tell me in the comments, cause I forgot about that. It's crazy how fast the internet like works, cause like I feel like that was almost a year ago that whole thing happened, and I think that was only a few months ago that whole Kingsman thing happened, and now it feels like longer than that. But I don't know. I feel like there was like a VTuber girl, VTuber adjacent girl that was involved with that. One of the mean girls was like a VTuber, maybe. Y'all can correct me.
people that don't like each other usually just don't talk to each other. Twitch is interesting to me. In fact, it's a lot more common than the Twitch streamer culture. When it comes to the Twitch streamer sphere, I've noticed that people that don't like each other usually just don't talk to each other or proactively shits on them in public. Their beef are for the world to see and consume popcorns to. In VTubing, it's a lot more hush-hush or more passive-aggressive, especially if it's coming from a generally respected content creator. Nobody usually wants to say anything.
Well, it's always weird because they have this image of this like cute animal or what cat girl or whatever these VTubers be, animal humanoid characters that they be. They're all like cute, and then all of a sudden they get into some weird drama and it's like, what's going on? So they have to they have to throw like subliminals and stuff, and it's from what I've seen, and it's like, okay. Like they ain't really about that smoke, but they gotta get off somehow.
Until a Google Docky comes out, then all of a
I
sudden...
did the Google. That's annoying. I always see that, the Google Docs. If y'all don't just get on, like, bro, if y'all don't just like go off on Twitter or something or on stream, I hate that. Honestly, like, it's annoying because now I have to read this pages and pages worth of stuff. Like, bro, I'm not unemployed. That's for the unemployed. I guess. Are a lot of the viewers unemployed? I hate to like harp on that joke, but like, come. Let's be real, bro. Let's be real. If you're reading a Google Docky, a full Google Docky, yeah, you might be unemployed. You might.
If you're near a convenience store right now, any type of 24-hour store, go into the store right now and put your hand in the cash register.
Put your hand in the cash register. Take some money, all right? Save it. Put it in your savings or something, because this is not it, bro. This is not it. You gotta make some money. If you on Twitter 24/7 reading Google Docs, you got the time to read that? What? I can't.
Like goddamn locusts, everyone reveals that they actually had some bad experience or two. Everyone actually has a problem with them. And while I understand where this silence comes from if NDAs are involved, but a lot of the time NDAs aren't actually involved or aren't doing jack shit in these situations. I'm not saying that VTubers have more beef against each other than normal Twitch streamers, but I am saying that how they go about their beef is very unique. And one has to wonder why this is. Is it because the consequences have a splashback effect? Or is there something a little deeper? So I tried to do a little thought experiment, figure out the unique factors that makes VTubing different, and whether or not those factors would actually contribute to this very unique phenomenon. And there's really only two factors, actually three factors, that separate the regular Twitch streamer and VTuber culture. The inherent anonymity present in the roleplay and anime aspect, the fact that the industry is smaller, and the fact that it's dominated by women. And I've come to a conclusion that it's these very same factors that actually are the reason for the bullying epidemic. Brace yourself. This is going to be a very, very weird video. But before we continue, may I interest you in other videos not meant for the peasants to see? In that case, I'd recommend you join...
Is it legal? Because you're hiding it in the code. That's not... Okay.
My channel. Anyway, that's all. Thank you, and let's go back to the video.
Support.
I am not a sexist. In fact, I am a paragon of anti-misogyny. Believe me, I have women that are friends. Even my roommate is a woman.
Sure, the classic. It's like saying, "Oh, I have a black friend. I'm not racist." Yeah, sure. I believe you. How you say your name? Nugusaki. I'm so bad at Japanese name. What's your name? Depressed Nusagi. Nusagi. I got you. Nusagi.
Let's talk about the method of attack VTubers usually employ against each other. Google Dockies. As I have mentioned, a lot of rumor mongering and Google Docs that goes around men usually talk about their sex bestie behavior. The most recent big one is the case of Real Kamada.
That's actually because I actually saved a video covering like male VTubers. One of the topics covers like them being sex pests and stuff like that. Just to, I gotta balance. You know what I'm saying? I gotta cover one problem and then the other problem. All right. There's two sides. All right. We have the gender war going on. I like to play it fair. All right.
A wannabe VTuber CEO that turned out to leverage his connections.
Yeah. A lot of it is like the power dynamic thing. Like certain men get into power and they use their power for bad things. It's a tale old as time, honestly. It's a tale old as time.
Or exaggerate his network to appear more authoritative and appealing to work with, and also using this perceived power to try and get under women's pants. It's very predictable, to be honest. From a sex pest freak's perspective, the logic is simple. If you want a fish, go where the fishes are. But again, among VTubers themselves, it's that they're bullies or mean girls. And more often than not, a lot of victims of these mean girls are not who and what they usually depict they are. Oftentimes, from the many Google Docs that we've read through in the past years alone, especially accounting the responses against said docs, there is a concerning number of them where the authors of these docies are not the victims that they claim that they are. That they're not clean of the same hostile behaviors that they try to call out, or perhaps they omit information or exaggerate events to paint a worse picture. This is why we've gotten a little bit critical of them. But we're not here to talk about the flawed docky creators, but rather the nature of these dockies. And there's a trend that I've noticed. Most, if not all of these hostile behaviors are not necessarily done via public callouts and open verbal shitting on stream like what many Twitch streamers do. Instead, it's a lot more subtle and insidious. A little something called relational aggression, otherwise known as social aggression. It's a type of psychological bullying where instead of physical or verbal harm that men usually employ, they instead damage a person's relationships, reputations, and platform. It usually comes in the form of spreading false rumors, gossiping, social
I see that. I see that for sure.
exclusion, or active gaslighting, among many others. It's basically the domain expansion of manipulation tactics. Now, men are very much capable of relational aggression, but women do it more, and do it slightly more aggressively. Studies have shown that more often than not, women actually employ this behavior. Though I should let you know for the sake of good faith that a lot of the research about this also recognize that other factors may impact the results of these studies, such as home life, school environment, and peers. Ages are also wide, ranging from age 7 to college years. Some studies also suggest that there's no real difference, but there are a lot more studies suggesting that it does, especially in their adolescence. In fact, VTubing itself should be a case study in of itself on this specific topic. In any case, let's break down why VTubing is like this. Again, there are 3 factors that make this a common trend in the industry,
Yeah.
starting with the
It's mostly women. Women.
fact that VTubing is smaller. In a small pond, there can really only be so much food for the big fishes to eat. One of the minor issues are of the character design mixing. In terms of aesthetics, design elements that have a universal appeal are few and far between, and can leave a smaller pool of combinations for VTubers to want to use, whether they like it themselves or because they think it's the best business trend. And because multiple VTubers use these design limits, they will look at other people having the same and fucking resent them. Seriously, something that petty is a legit excuse for even a big VTuber to get upset. The most notorious example I can think of is legit the Silverveil, Spite, and Cinder situation, where it turns out Silverveil's audience and Silver herself, allegedly, did not like Cinder for having formerly the same design elements to a point of being, allegedly,
Well, how about this? Y'all stop. Okay, a quick rant about the VTubing. I don't know if it's like it's cause of like VTubing started off as like an anime inspired thing, and maybe I'm just being ignorant when I'm saying this, but why aren't there different, like more unique designs when it comes to, like, I hate to toot my own horn, but I'm different from all of y'all by default. I don't know what else to say. Y'all are all anime girls. Like, it's just anime girls. I don't see nothing. I don't see, like, you could be a dinosaur. I don't know. You could be a dragon, a talking dragon. You know how awesome that sounds? You can be a talking dragon. Someone was a talking peanut and they blew up. You see that? No one else was a peanut before him. What's his name? I forgot. The smoking peanut? Something like that. Y'all are all, I'm going to be an anime girl, a fire anime girl. I'm going to be an ice anime girl. I'm going to be a fox anime girl. I'm going to be a cat girl. Damn. That's liberal. You got limited in your choices. You can do so much with just being an artist. And I realize maybe a lot of them are not artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, they like art, but they like anime more than anything, and maybe that's what it is, and I'm just being ignorant. But me, as someone who's an artist, I recognize that I could do something a lot different with my character, and I just went with it. And I feel like there's big opportunities being missed when it comes to character designs, and taking the opportunity to create a character and bring it to life, like with what I'm doing. Even my friend who made this model, like the model that you're seeing right now, she has like a inkling, I think it's called Octoling. I'll put her name on the screen. I'm gonna shout her out. Even with that, I haven't seen any Splatoon VTubers. That's cool as hell. It just feels like most of these VTubers do like similar designs. They don't want to do anything else besides the anime girl look, and I mean, go for it. I'm not saying they're terrible, bad designs. Like, the artists are doing, it's not the artists. You know what I'm saying? It's not the designs. It's just the fact that they're going back and forth saying, oh, my design looks like yours and they're too similar. Do something completely different. Why not? I don't get it. I don't know.
harassed by said fans. Cinder, in turn, and failing the generational trauma check, also did not
Did this whole thing spark the whole Cinder thing? Because I remember that's a huge thing. I never looked into it. I'm sorry. I do have a job. Someone give me the TLDR. What happened with that? Hey, what happened with that? Because was this the whole thing? Because they models? Because I remember everyone was shitting on the Cinder chick.
like Spite for having the same design elements. A smaller case would be powder blasting this VTuber Lily for copycatting their white-haired Violet Elf design. People will lambast on other people for looking similar to each other. Small indies tend to do this a lot more than others though. But at the same time, maybe there is some kind of olive branch I can extend to the people that do get copied or do copy. Because look at me, I'm literally named Depressed Nusagi. Even if it was supposed to just be a placeholder, I took that fucking name because I was Pecora's goonest soldier. And I took massive inspirations from Omega Alpha.
What? I didn't understand that. He was just what soldier? What? Who's?
Depressed Nusagi. Even if it was supposed to just be a placeholder, I took that fucking name because I was Pecora's goonest soldier. And I took massive
Goodness soldier? What is he? Huh?
What are you saying?
Okay.
inspirations from Omega Alpha because she embodied everything I liked from a character design perspective and aesthetic. So I'm not necessarily guilt-free from this. But again, this is just minor. In the grand scheme of things, the copycat issue is a unique culture thing, but nothing that I would constitute as a problematic part of the industry. The bigger issue actually is that because the industry is smaller, it becomes a much more focused and tenser connection-oriented space, where these connections become one of your most important assets, sometimes more so than your numbers. But it's a fragile and fickle thing. You can be a nexus of VTubers in one day, then a radiation-heavy zone in the next. Both private and public perception can affect this network, affect what groups you are able to interact with, as well as access to sponsors and resources. What this means is that if you are not well liked publicly or behind the scenes, or have a fair share of drama on your ass that a particular group in the right spaces may not like, you are effectively barred from certain opportunities. This can be because you may not align with the girlies, or because you're a lolly, or because you've unknowingly upset someone higher in the food chain. You'll never be disappointed with how humans react when they get power. While there is that 0.01% of people that will remain humble or largely resistant to abusing that power, the gambling man will always win if they bet that they would, in some sort of way. And when the space is connections-oriented, people, groups, and companies may not be inclined to take people in just because they have big numbers. While this is a problem not unique to VTubing, you know, connections and friends in the right places kind of thing, as it happens in any subsect of the entertainment industry, the unique factors of the space amplify and compound on the matter. Again, space dominated by mentally ill women with mentally ill male fans.
We know about this person. We know about this person right here. Where's she at? 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 Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. We know. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Dominated by mentally ill women with mentally ill male fans. Many people will find it easy to use the power dynamic to, for example, rob people of opportunities to take for themselves or for their own groups. Call in a favor from a powerful figure to do a little something against someone and make it so that it's not connectable to them. And for the victim, it'll hurt even more. Sometimes, you wouldn't even notice that opportunities aren't going your way anymore. You'll probably have a mental breakdown first on why acquaintances are no longer speaking with you before you even find out.
Yeah, it's crazy because like you see this happen in like every industry where some type of controversy, anything that like even if it's like a misunderstanding, if it turns into a controversy where people are just too many people are questioning your character or just spreading rumors that are just out of control and you can't really do nothing about it, but just kind of let it rock. Like obviously you can respond to it, but people find something in your response that they didn't like, and then now it's a controversy within a controversy. It's like the internet became an extension to Hollywood in a sense, if you become internet famous.
This is not the only harm that comes from the space being smaller. It's also the dark side of competition. I've mentioned in my video talking about why VTubing has become so negative that the desperation that people feel to grow or maintain their size is a big part of the reason why they do things that can be seen as divisive or volatile. That when competition becomes fiercer, people are going to be willing to do less than nice things to others to get to the top, which can include a lot of the relational aggression and backstabby tactics I've mentioned earlier, especially if they see a window where it'll be active. But what I didn't mention in that video, because I was saving it for this one, is that the more intelligent variants of these mean girls go about their desperation and insecurity very intelligently. Sometimes, all that trust and venting that you've given to a VTuber can...
Is that my goat? The rat queen herself? Quit playing me. That's my goal, bro. Alicia X Life, bro. Come on, bro. I don't care what y'all say, bro. I don't care what y'all say, bro. That's my goal right there.
Easily get used against you. They'll pretend to be your friend, faking concern for your well-being and advising you to do something that actually works.
You know what's crazy though? I definitely, cause I know she's definitely like collabed with other VTubers in the past, but watching her for a while now, I definitely don't see her collabing with other VTubers. So that probably has a lot to do with it. Just like, because it really is just a lot of mean girls up in that space, and it's just weird. Like it's it's just better to like be off to yourself. Collabs could be a double-edged sword if you're a smaller creator collabing with a bigger creator, because yeah, it's great that you're getting exposure, you know, collabing with the bigger creator. You're then given the task of keeping those new viewers on your side, because more likely than not, you're gonna have a different vision than the, you know, bigger, the other creator, right? Like you guys, even if you do like make similar or close to the same content, you're gonna be different. Hopefully you are. You shouldn't be a carbon copy, but anyways. So for me, it's harder for me to collaborate with people because I have my own vision of things, and I like to just be in control of things I have control over, like my videos and my video style editing, wherever the case is, and I want to just do things my own way. And when you're bringing in people that have their, you know, own expectations, oh, they're expecting me to be super similar to the person I'm collaborating with, and they're not. Sometimes they don't really come in with that open mind, and it just, you know, it ends up bringing in people who hit subscribe and then not watch my videos. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying this from experience. I've collabed with some bigger YouTubers, and some people subbed, and they just don't watch my videos, which is, this is fine. If you don't want to watch my videos, that's fine. But you just unsub. If you're not interested with what I'm doing, you can just unsub. That's one thing you should keep in mind when, you know, collaborating, and when you're starting off content creation and you're collaborating with people. Me personally, I collaborate with, you know, personal friends and friends of mine that also just so happen to make content creation on the side too, because like we always hang out, so it's different then. But you know, collaboration is more professional, and you're bringing in a new audience, and that audience might not really rock with your content as much as you think they would, and they might not stay around, but they also might stay around. So try it, but be mindful of that.
Sometimes, all that trust and venting that you've given to a VTuber can easily get used against you. They'll pretend to be your friend, faking concern for your well-being and advising you to do something that actually works against you, but framing it as positive and manipulating you to think that it's a good thing. Like what this fucker Ian did in the Obsession.
Oh yeah.
And you best be...
Bro, you gotta be careful with people. You gotta be careful of being vulnerable with people. And I see that a lot on the internet. It's sad. It's sad to see, because especially with younger people, they don't know better, and a lot of people vent. They vent and they let everything out, because like I guess they don't have anyone else to talk to. That's where you go to therapy. That's where you go to therapy, and you let all that stuff out there. That's the perfect time and place to do that. Do not tell your business to any random motherfucker on the internet, and you see what happens. Especially with these VTube mean girls, they will use all that against you. You do them wrong, oh, people are petty. They play those mind games too. People love to psychoanalyze on the internet. They think they know your whole story.
Be aware of this when it comes from peers that you have some kind of similarity to or share the exact type of audience with. And whales. We've seen this kind of VTuber on VTuber violence happen a lot, especially on the medium and big Twitch indie side. Notoriously, the Cindergate situation. And believe me, it's not a very uncommon thing to do. Insecurity, envy, or some manner of ego-related hostility is so common in this industry. And often, that's all it takes for a person you've considered a friend to lie to you, turn on you, and manipulate you whether they realize it or not. And the absolute worst thing they can do to you, beyond the rumor mongering and the relational aggression, is an open attempt on your very career. Again, I have to emphasize, VTubing is small. So any medium to large scale cancellation attempt is going to be seen by anyone that aren't Hololive or Nijisanji only viewers. Even if they're a different type of audience, or that they only know the rough details, it's still enough to form a negative impression on you and thus affect your brand negatively. Of course, the obvious example of this is the Saikuno and the Cindergate situation again, which most people see not as warnings that the authors say it is, but actual exposés. Attempts on people's career, a brutal punishment and sentencing that most likely does not actually fit their crime.
Sakuno's a VTuber? I thought it was a... Okay. I guess he does both, because I'm pretty sure he shows his face, right?
That the authors say it is, but actual exposés. Attempts on people's career, a brutal punishment and sentencing that most likely does not actually fit their crimes. And while we can argue all we want about who was in the right or who was in the wrong in both situations, I've made 2 videos about these topics already, the ultimate point here is that even flawed attempts are more than enough to form a negative impression on your brand. It's more than enough to irrevocably sever huge chunks of your network and your friendships, even if you somehow maintain your audiences or your numbers. And while yes, this does carry a risk for the accuser's credibility, the truth is, whatever repercussion they'll face for a flawed attempt isn't going to be commensurate. In the streaming and entertainment industry, whoever strikes first usually has the upper hand, usually gets seen more, and usually gets, more favors. That's just how people are. Most people would rather be told who the enemy is rather than figure things out.
Exactly, and that's one of the biggest problems that we got right now. It's been a problem for several years, but it's really bad now. It's one of the most annoying things people do now. We can't... If people get invested in something serious, let's say someone got accused of something really serious. If you're going to get invested, all right, you're going to be unemployed and be on the internet 24/7 trying to figure shit out like freaking Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, take the time and actually do research. All right, be Sherlock Holmes, but don't sit here, be unemployed on the internet 24/7 and then dogpile without doing any research. You have all the time in the world to go through the research and see if the person did anything, if there's any evidence at all. A lot of times there's no evidence out yet before these things come out. And it's just he said, she said. Wait until concrete evidence or the 2 people handle it and like legally or something and not get involved. But like the internet has opened up the floodgates where anyone could say anything and keep spreading shit, and it's awful. It's just so awful. I can't stand it. And I know that type of stuff does like horrible things to you mentally. Just having like, you just can't have your internet on. Like you can't open Twitter or any platforms that has that type of stuff happening. Like I rarely open Twitter. It's not something that's really worth wasting your energy on, because people, it's the platform for extremists. And I'm gonna expand more in other videos, hopefully, about how extremism is gotten to a point where it's becoming people's personalities, and it's getting really concerning and scary. I'm super, super, super annoyed and pissed off at how people just dogpile and jump onto things without thinking, or at least being like, okay, that seems bad, but we gotta see the other side of things if there's evidence or whatever the case is. But no, people are they're seeing the allegations or whatever, and they're just like, oh my god, they're bad. This person's terrible. Like, wait, is there evidence? You got like, wait, please. Like, this is not good for both sides. For real victims, all right, and for justice to be served, for actual, cases. Sometimes, I'm sorry, like sometimes there really just be he said, she said, petty drama, and unfortunately people lie. about serious allegations, and that shit is not fair to like that makes the person who is being lied about a victim, obviously, because now people they're gonna get dogged down by these extremists on especially on Twitter that don't give a fuck about knowing the truth, and they just want to whether they dislike the person or whatever the case is, there's some petty reason that they don't like this person, and they want to use that excuse as an excuse to dogpile. It's crazy. It's so crazy and inhumane. Like at the end of the day, it is a person that you're talking about, and they have to deal with that fucking crazy ass accusation that we don't know if it's true or not, and it's being like thousands of people are talking about one person. You imagine how crazy that is? You stop and think how crazy that shit is, and you guys are dogpiling. It's imagine you in that situation. That's not a fucking good feeling, especially if you didn't do shit, but you have to like sit there and look at all these like you have to turn Twitter off. You have to turn the platform off. You can't look at that shit because that shit is going to destroy your mental. It's insane how it's so bad. It's so bad.
Out for themselves.
Can't stand it.
After all, that's not what they came here for. And in this space, often the bully can wield more power, whether that be because more people are willing to ignore it due to their sheer size and clout, fearing them, or because they'd rather believe that their Oshi/friend is a saint or something, right?
Yeah.
By the way, that in of itself is a huge fucking problem.
Yeah.
VTuber fans are incredibly easily manipulated. I'm gonna get into that later. VTubing really is no different than a high school setting. With a bunch of guys fawning, clawing, and fighting for girls, it's just the kind of space that naturally forms when the major players are the way that they are. So that's one aspect of the mean girl problem in VTubing, the mean part. Now let's get to the girl part. A girl's girl is a woman who genuinely supports, celebrates, and stands by other women. In Hololive, we see such powerful examples of this because Hololive actually does a good job picking up women that aren't goddamn petty, starts drama, or schizo tirades. Their management also being proactively preventative also helps. What's that meme? Women are more likable under oppressive moral codes or something? And while it's funny, it's not necessarily true. It's not the reason why Hololive VTubers seem more professional. But there's a reason why even this sentiment, if only just more nuanced or worded more accurately, is a sentiment that many fans may low-key agree. Because in the indie side of things, these measures are not available. It's often up to the girls' own professionalism and personalities to keep themselves in check. Not just in public, but also in private. So what happens when a bitch is not self-aware that she's a bitch, or knows that she's a bitch but wants to seem not to be? Well, that's where women use their curse technique called emotional manipulation.
Oh, yeah.
I brought up the whole relational aggression thing earlier, and now this concept of being a girl's girl because I wanted to make a point that a lot of VTubers mask being like these to really sabotage or plan something backstabbing. Sometimes, they even use therapy speak to attempt to manipulate or confuse the public and their victims. And I think this happens a little way too much. Yakireso is a very notorious example of this. A person that uses relational aggression to coerce people, which even included their own roommate/editor, and also their friend Deputy Aru to doing what they want. Gossiping, manipulating, and their friend Deputy Aru to doing what they want.
She threatened him that if he tells anyone about the abuse he suffered while living with her, then they would have a problem. The fuck? Whoa! We got beef! What are we? What are you talking about? They'll have a problem. What? Hey, yo. What's she talking about? She got goons waiting for him? What?
Gossiping, manipulating, and a whole lot of typical bitch behavior, and she was one of the rising stars. People genuinely liked her. She only got caught because she was stupid, to be honest. Sisterhood and solidarity in the form of collabs and shoutouts are easily used as a guise under competition. Attempts to steal viewers and whales, especially if they start DMing.
That really happens? Like that is that common? If then I definitely see the mean girl high schooler comparison. That's exactly what happens in high school. They really peaked in high school, some of these VTubers. What the hell?
They attempt to integrate themselves like a lamprey into a friend group or other people's events to broadcast or promote themselves. Because when you think about it, VTubing is the prime environment for this bitchy, backstabby behavior. a place with low accountability but high visibility, an anonymous place where the tools are easily accessible to spread some bullshit, and a space that also gets you a simping, almost retardedly loyal audience. In a space like this, the smartest
Yeah.
manipulators can stand toe-to-toe in terms of reach and clout with the most genuine creators, to a point that we wouldn't
Is that AI? What is that fight? What is that? I was gonna question it earlier, but I just can't comprehend what's happening. But what was I gonna say? They're definitely using the anonymity to their benefit. That no one knows who they look like. They're behind the avatar, obviously, and then like obviously they kind of create an army of fans to like back them up, which is just crazy to just use your viewers like that, or if any VTubers are doing that. Once again, I feel like you're gonna attract the most unhinged people, especially if you get a lot of viewers. This goes for any content creator. You get a lot, you start getting the numbers, you're gonna have a couple unhinged people, unfortunately, in that crowd, and you're gonna have to be like, you kind of you have to set that boundary. You'd be like, all right, I don't know y'all. All right, calm down. All right, Jimmy, who's in the back, that's asking me for all my information, bro. Someone's gonna do something really, really bad to another person that you're like beefing with. It is, this is bad. Why do this? This is supposed to be like, it just goes to show you, it doesn't matter what community you're a part of, or any community that you see, those bad eggs are always going to shine. It's always going to happen. It don't matter. You expected, oh, these anime girls they're so cute and they're so nice and they just nothing can go wrong. No, it's a freaking mess. It's a complete mess. Just like every other community. I'm telling you. This is why I don't be part of any communities, all right? I don't be a part of any community. I do my own thing for real, bro. I don't be doing them Discord servers. No, I am in like 5 Discord servers. Okay, I don't be talking to nobody. I just be doing my own thing. I stay in my own corner. I have enough friends. No, you trying to be my friend? Nope. Nope. You want to collab? Nope. I'm good. I'm good. I can do it on my own. I love the satisfaction of making it by myself. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
even necessarily know or will realize too late who it is. All of this is then lastly multiplied by the fact that VTubing is a roleplay heavy scene. Anonymity, an inherent side effect of
I just said it. I just said it. Yeah, the anonymity. It's so much easier to be toxic when no one knows who you are or what you look like. Nothing about you. It's kind of the same thing with like what trolling, right? Like here, when I unfortunately, when I was a teenager, I had my little trolling phase. All right, I'm gonna admit to it. All right, the making multiple accounts to get back at somebody. All right, I've done it before. It's mad easy to be anonymous for the most part until you piss off the wrong person and you piss off a hacker or some computer geek and you get your IP address. They leak your IP address and your street address.
anime role-playing can be weaponized. Mean girls are able to get away with it if they get caught once. Start an entirely new brand with a separate friend group. Maybe have your voice be an octave lower and get used to it so you don't get caught or some bullshit. It's just way too easy. People like Cha Cha Chela, aka Bunny Alisu, is very notorious for this, undergoing multiple personas every time she gets caught in a bad situation. Gunpai is an even more notorious example, a mentally ill GFE VTuber who is all sorts of insane. And more recently,
You look at that model look insane. What's going on? Why is the screen shaking?
a mentally ill GFE VTuber who is all sorts of insane. And more recently, this girl Sumi, who recently got into a controversy for bitching and whining about why Shy Lily blocked her, notoriously having 18 plus account name changes to dodge past controversy,
What
and
the
also had a
hell?
major allegation under her belt, such as harassing other content creators for copying her and copying people herself. Their infamous deeds are covered by
God
other channels,
damn.
so I suggest you view those.
Some people just this is not for you if you're doing that. You might pack it up. Do something else. This ain't it, bro. Like, what are you doing? You on the internet way too much.
These are negative byproducts of the industry's roleplay heaviness and the anonymity that goes along with it. Whereas it's easy to hold IRL streamers accountable for bullshit that they did, or easily track and warn.
Oh boy, this Tubba Lord right here has a freaking documentary coming up for some reason. I don't know why we need a documentary of this guy.
People about them when they try to do a comeback or rebrand. In VTubing, it's a lot more difficult because not everyone pays attention to everyone, and people have a memory of a goldfish. And I
Yeah.
think people started getting tired of all of this mean girl drama and bitchy behavior because of the Cindergate situation. That drama was a nuke. Even after the explosion had settled, the radiation still remained 1 year later. I think the number of people involved in that drama, the sheer pettiness displayed that respected indies and supposed professionals, and the kind of information we shouldn't have known about as audiences, really disillusioned a lot of people, regardless on whether you were Team Cinder or Team Shylily. Because it was a situation where low-key everyone kinda sucked. A lot of people did not need to involve themselves in that shit flinging, and why a lot of fan bases of the entire scene were also taking part of this some
I
whole
still don't know what happened. I was waiting for him to explain what happened, but he still. I guess I don't care. I don't care.
holy
I don't
crusade
really care.
in the
bro.
name of their anime women. I know and agree that we should hold people accountable here, but holy fuck. I say it's radioactive because it didn't just affect the fan bases and the VTubers that were involved in that drama, it spread throughout the mainstream, spreading the miasma of doubt, planting a seed of criticality against any and all VTubers that they may not be as professional, smart, and good-willed as they paint themselves to
Oh,
be.
really? It's almost like they're real people behind the avatar, and they make real people mistakes, and they're insecure, and they're flawed, and they're all this and that, and they're not perfect. Wow! Wow! The the the, the number of delusional fans that believe them to be this perfect angel are in shambles right now. Oh boy.
Google Dockies were long recognized before as a mainstay, but was really only solidified as a cultural phenomenon in the industry because of this drama. To me, it's okay if my Oshi is not wholesome or smart or is not a good role model. It's not your job to be a good role model as a content creator. It's to entertain.
Definitely.
People shouldn't look up to
Yeah.
any VTubers as paragons of goodwill.
That's any content creator. Let it be known. Content creators are the biggest dumbasses on this planet. Stupid, 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 stupid. Every single one of them are dumb. I don't care. Yeah, but he's no, no. Yeah, but she said this and it's true. I don't care. Dumb. We dumb. We all do dumb. Do not go to some content creator asking for some life-changing advice. No. Don't listen to them. Go live your life. Learn from your experiences, please. Stop. Don't go to no self-help coach. Nothing. They don't know what they talking about. They talking about their going based off their life experiences and thinking that's gonna work for you because they're narcissists. Stop it. Don't spend your money. Keep your money. Well, pay your bills. How about that? Pay your bills. Use your money to pay your bills. What do you need a life coach for? What are we doing?
What are you
What are
talking
you
about,
talking
bro?
about?
You
You need
rambling
a
a
life
lot,
coach.
bro. You rambling, bro.
You live life. That's how you learn. That's how you learn about everything. You live life. You learn from your own mistakes, from your own experiences. I need a life coach. No. Stop taking advice from freaking content creators. They stupid. All right, including me. I got a tiny butterfly brain. I'm just here to entertain and yap to y'all. Kareem Entertainment, not Kareem Philosophy. You don't want to know that. Ain't no philosophy. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just yapping for entertainment. Let's have a discussion. That's fine. Let's talk. Let's talk about whatever. But it's all for entertainment.
Perhaps it's not them that wants to be seen that way, but the fans insist that they do. Fans that glaze their Oshis a little too hard, paint an
Yeah.
exaggerated picture of sainthood that only a true simp is able to do. That they are where they are because they are good people. They deserve to be where they are because of their character. Putting them in a pedestal that makes them seem uncritiquable, using their disability, their mental illness, or gender or minority status to deflect criticism.
It's I think one of the things that you should do, and is that it goes back to like building that boundary, and like obviously there's gonna be a few bad apples. It's always gonna be like that, where someone is always gonna overstep a boundary. We get it, but it's like a safety net a little bit. Like, go have a back and forth with your, with your viewers. I don't know, like maybe insult them, make jokes every once in a while. Just have it feel like it's not a hierarchy, right? Where it's like they have to glaze you. You can make fun of me. You can make fun of my model. You can make fun of RRL me. Go to my Instagram, whatever. Make fun of my art, I guess. I don't know. Go ahead. You can. Hey, bro. It is what it's a free range. You can make fun of me. I can make fun of you too, though. It's, hey, go ahead. I'm not fishing for compliments. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm still getting hate comments from that Family Guy video. I'm not taking it down. Family Guy's doo-doo garbage. All right? To me, in my opinion. You can think it's the most amazing show in the world. But hey, this is this is how we're supposed to be as people. We have different opinions. I would absolutely hate it if everyone shared the same opinion on things as me. It would just be, the world would be so boring. Why would you want to watch someone that you fully agree with?
And maybe that's the ultimate reason why there's so many mean girls. Beyond the faults of the VTubers in the industry itself, maybe it's because of us too. Maybe it's because, as fans, we enabled this. People would rather defend them if they make mistakes rather than provide even constructive criticism. And such a hug-boxy space only encourages bad actors to provide criticism that is far from constructive. People would rather flatter their ego and validate emotions or actions that shouldn't have been. People would rather protect their platform, not their integrity.
Yeah.
People have simped too much. Our favorite VTubers come from all walks of life. Nerds who got bullied for being a nerd, bullies who
Yeah.
picked in high school, normal people who just found the concept interesting, disabled or physically/mentally ill people who saw VTubing as a viable career path. All these walks can eventually develop the kind of mean girly behavior that we've seen over the years. Some more than others, sure, but we have seen disabled VTubers be a mean girl.
You see, he's showing a specific VTuber here when he said that. Hey, man. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. Let's go. Yeah, if you know, you know. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, let's go.
We have seen normal people who get corrupted and let their ego take over. We have seen bullies who got worse. We have seen nerds become the very thing
Oh
that
my
they used
God.
to hate. It ties back to what I said in the middle of this video. You'll never be disappointed with how humans react when they get power. So perhaps it's our reaction that we also may need to look out for when we see these behaviors. We need to be gentle yet firm, constructive yet
Yeah.
critical,
Yeah.
loving in a way that will also ground our Oshi to the earth. The kind of affection that cares about how they are rather than who they are.
Facts. And with great power comes great responsibility. And a lot of people are not responsible. And which is why a lot of people just shouldn't have the power that they have. And you see these certain world leaders and people with lots of money doing bad things with the money that they have instead of freaking helping people with all the money that they have, and they're doing all these terrible things. Don't put people on a pedestal. Stop enabling bad behavior. Yeah, your favorite talking anime girl, she's just a girl. Let her just be a girl. Don't put her on a pedestal.
Guys, follow Kareem Entertainment to watch a talking butterfly. A talking butterfly, guys. I didn't know butterflies can talk.